What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Now listen, and don't y'all say nothing if you see my beard dripping, bro. I just got out the shower. It is what it is at this point. Let it drip. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, listen. I know a lot of y'all are tired of the Zoom calls. You know what I'm saying? The pandemic got everybody working from home. You know what I mean? You had to adjust. This is an adjustment period for everybody. And some people are working from home and they have to attend them Zoom call meetings. Now, you know, if I was one of those, if I was one of the people that had to do the Zoom call, I'd be chilled. I'd be relaxed. You know what I'm saying? But some people can't stand it. And I get it, bro. It's tedious. It's aggravating sometimes. It is what it is. But what this next video is 3 nightmarish Zoom call horror stories. Now, I can't wrap my mind how this could be a horror story segment. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to check this out, man, and see what Mr. Nightmare put together with this one here, man. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, join the fam, and let's get to it, man. Look at me hitting the wrong button. Man, I would like to know. I see a video of like Zoom calls, like fails. Like when you know you be sitting there, you get mad and you kind of turn your camera off and you be flicking your boss off, but you forgot to actually turn the camera off and he actually see it. Like I want to see a video like that too.
It was sometime in April. Peak corona time in my state. Quarantining and lockdown were still in effect. There was nothing to do on Friday and Saturday nights besides Zoom calls with your friends. It was like a week after I finally hopped on the wave and agreed to jump on a Zoom call with my 4 friends, Ashley, Haley, Sylvia, and Alexa. It was a Friday night, and it was supposed to be our little Zoom drinking party. We were going to be playing drinking games and just staying up until the early hours of the morning. Ashley shared the link.
See, that's smart and responsible. That way when you pass out, you're at home. So you pass out at home. It's responsible.
To join the Zoom call in our iMessage group chat. We joined one at a time. First Ashley, then me, then Haley and Sylvia. It seemed they were all on their laptops. I was the only one on my phone, so I switched to my laptop as well. It took a little while for Alexa to finally join, but when she joined, her screen was black. We all joked around, chanting Alexa's name and whatever, asking her what's up with her webcam. She started typing into the text chat of the Zoom call, saying she didn't know what was wrong with her webcam and microphone, that it said both were offline. We continued to joke around about it, but also tried helping her, though we didn't really know how to be of much assistance with that. Eventually she typed in the chat, "BRB, I'm gonna go try to figure this out." So we all went on to our drinking and just chatting on our video chat. Well, we figured Alexa was doing whatever to try to fix her computer. But something randomly happened sometime into our call. Something completely unexpected that kind of scarred all of us. Alexa's cam suddenly started working, and her box went from black to showing an old creepy man doing something I really don't want to repeat. When he noticed the camera turned on, he jumped to close the laptop, and the screen went dark again.
For real? For real, you old geezer? For real, you old bastard? For real? This is what you do? Sick, man. Oh, man. I did not see that coming. I did not expect that. I thought it was going to flash back on and maybe she tied up or something like that.
The 4 of us screamed and started freaking out. We tried calling Alexa, but now it seemed her phone was off. We didn't have her mom or sister's number, so we all agreed to drive over to Alexa's place to see what was going on. Her mom answered the door in her robe, looking concerned. We asked her if Alexa was home. She said yes and called her down. Alexa never responded, though. Her mother said she had just gotten home an hour ago, but that Alexa's door was locked half an hour earlier. We We all explained what happened on the Zoom call, and she freaked out and ran upstairs to bang on Alexa's door. I got no answers. We all got a sickly feeling when we realized what could be going on. Alexa's mom called the cops that second, and when Officer Perry showed up, we told him everything. He called for backup and went upstairs to knock on the door and
Why nobody kick the door down? Like, kick the door down.
tried to reason with whoever could be in there. When there was no response, he began to kick the door down.
Thank you, officer. As a parent, though, I'm going through that door, bro.
When he finally broke through the door, there was no one on the bed. The laptop and phone were left on the bed, but no one was in the room. The window was wide open, enough for someone to crawl through and hop outside down to the awning roof below. We all found Alexa in the basement minutes later. She was hiding under a blanket in the corner of the room. She said when she was home alone, she saw some older man with a big knife sticking out of his pocket in the living room, so she snuck down to the basement and hid. She didn't know when it was safe to come out of hiding, as she couldn't hear her mother getting home. Police backup finally showed up, and the information of the break-in and the man was sent to the local news outlets to alert people to be on the lookout. It's crazy how that Zoom call might have saved Alexa and her mother's lives.
And you got an old dude in your house and you don't even know it. He done came through the window. He watching you. Like, how did he even know about the Zoom call, though? To just log on and be sitting there doing what he was doing. Sick old geezer, old bastard. But, fam. And your daughter's down there hiding and you don't even know, bro. That'd have been the scariest day of my life. My life. Man. You talking about bars on the windows. What? I come from a family, man, that when we were little, my mom put bars on the windows because we came from a bad neighborhood when we moved down here to Georgia. So moving from New Jersey, bro, it was, you know what I mean? Break-ins, robberies, different things like that. So when we moved down here, she still had that like mentality of protection of her children. So she put bars on the window. Now, thinking the day, if there had been a fire in my room, started in my room, and I couldn't get out my door, I was done. Because we had the bars on the windows, man. But that's how it was back then.
A few weeks ago, my friends and I decided to hold a Zoom reunion, as we had not seen each other for quite some
Oh, my man up here in the third box got the Jaeger on deck, bro. Whew. Man. Bad. Oh, bro, I had a bad experience with Jaeger one time. Bad experience.
some time, and all of us finally had the time to chat since there was a lockdown in our country. We're all college students, and most of us had lost contact with each other, so we decided to post on our social media that we would be holding a Zoom reunion, which was open to all the alumni of our old school. We got responses from many people, and we even accepted people we didn't know as long as they knew our mutual friends. We wanted it to be a big social event and didn't really care who joined. Finally, the day of the reunion arrived. I scheduled a meeting and posted it on my Instagram story because there were too many people to individually text, which I now realize was a big mistake because I had basically given everyone access to join the Zoom call. The Zoom meeting began normally, with all of us excited to meet our old friends. We made some new friends through our mutual friends, and we were having a grand time, when someone called Sat_An_20 unmuted their mic and started making groaning sounds. We had a friend named Anne, so we thought it was just her pranking us. We texted her to stop because it was getting annoying, but to our surprise she texted back apologizing because she hadn't attended the call due to prior engagements. We were surprised and asked this Anne person to open their video and show us their face or they would be removed from the meeting. They didn't show their face, so I removed them from the meeting. The Zoom call resumed and we were all joking about the incident. Suddenly, my network strength became weak, and I had to leave the meeting. I joined back soon after, but Sat_An_20 had somehow taken the opportunity and re-entered the meeting in the few seconds that we unlocked it. This time they began to share their screen and displayed a video of a black tunnel on loop. We were terrified, and a lot of people were leaving the meeting because of it, but my friends and I were determined to find the person who was destroying our reunion. We constantly tried to remove them from the meeting. But the second my friend's network connection weakened, somehow the Sat-An-20 person became the host.
I was thinking that was gonna happen, bro. It's getting good.
There was nothing we could do now. The account was still playing the video on loop and chanting something in a strange language.
Don't this seem like the movie The Ring with the video?
We could have left the meeting, but really wanted to know who was disrupting it. Suddenly, the video stopped, and Sat-An-20 started talking in a distorted voice about how my brother Rav had completed the ritual and attained salvation, and we could take their help and do the same too. Here's the thing. I had a twin brother who died before birth. My parents had wanted to name him Rav. They told me when I was very young about his prenatal death, and begged me to never talk about him.
Holy how could they have known that? How could they have known? I'd have spazzed out at that point.
Only my grandparents and parents knew about him, as the subject was too painful to disclose to others. I had always wanted a twin, and blaming myself for his death, I never told anyone about him. Soon after, we had moved to a new city. I was certain that the only people who knew about my brother in the city were my parents. I had not told even my best friends about him. I had no idea how this Sat-An-20 person knew about him. They truly had no way of knowing that I knew about. With shaking hands, and now without a doubt convinced that this was a supernatural occurrence, I wordlessly exited the meeting. I do not know what happened afterwards. I didn't respond to my friends' texts and have since not talked to them. To this day, I know this is an experience I will not soon forget.
So how about those Zoom calls? Y'all ready to hop on one today? Nah.
In April of this year, my school had made a virtual classroom thing where we would do all of our assignments online on websites like Google Classroom and whatnot. They also told us about a new tool called Zoom, where students and teachers can all have a virtual meeting to talk about schoolwork and stuff. Well, one day in May, after I finished my assignments, my dad went out on a night shift at his job. So it was only my mom and my mom was asleep. I called my friends, and we all agreed to try a Zoom call out with each other to catch up on how everyone has been, and it also eventually ended with us playing some console games like Call of Duty. At one point, around 10 p.m., we were playing Modern Warfare, and all of a sudden, one of my friends, who I'll call Jack for privacy reasons, suddenly told me that he saw a very sudden blurred movement behind me in my room, but he wasn't sure because my lights were off, and the only light was from the TV in my room. I have a somewhat small room with only my bed, a drawer next to my bed, a closet in the left corner of the room, and my TV in the front. That's when I noticed that my pillow was on the floor. I went over to pick it up, and I just dismissed it thinking it accidentally fell or something. So I just went back to play with my friends. About 10 minutes passed by, and Jack once again says he swears he sees movement behind me in my room. When I turned around, I saw that the pillow had fallen again in the exact same spot. This time I became anxious because I knew—
Shoot the pillow. Shoot the pillow. Just start airing it out in your room. Shoot the pillow.
100% I put the pillow in a place that it couldn't possibly fall without someone or something moving it. I bend down slowly to pick it up, and then I hear Jack scream. I put the pillow on the bed and rush over to my laptop sitting on my chair to ask him what was wrong. All he said was to look under my bed.
Shoot under the bed.
And I saw it. I saw two glowing eyes which were lit up by the TV screen. Once the person realized that I saw them, they immediately jumped out and tried to grab me.
Oh!
I instinctively swung my arm at their head, and I hit him right in the nose. He looked to be at least 45 and had long, dry, straight hair that looked like it hadn't been cut or washed in at least a year.
Oh.
He had a scratchy-looking beard and was a very skinny—
Don't stop hitting him. Just keep hitting him.
but tall guy who looked to be about 6'3". He fell onto my bed, and I could see his nose was bleeding, so I took my chance and ran to my mom's room and locked the door. I could hear his footsteps stomping through the house coming towards the room, so I immediately told my mom to call the police despite her groggily shouting at me to tell her what was happening. She called the cops, and by then I could hear his footsteps as he was going from room to find where I went. When he came to the room we were in, he tried the handle, and when he saw it was locked, he he knew we were in the room. But he didn't bang on the door like I thought he would. Instead, I heard a small chuckle, and then I looked under the little crack under the door, and I could see his feet standing there. As soon as I looked under, he looked through the crack as well, and I could see his bloodshot eye.
Holy.
I also saw a couple drops of blood on the floor, and then on the other side of the door, I heard "You'll pay for that" in a psychotic, high-pitched, childish voice.
So what do you do at that point, bro? What do you do? What do you do? Now, for us, our room is loaded down, so we firing off through the door, bro. You think you gonna stand there and laugh at me, laugh at my son, laugh, chuckle, say he gonna pay? No, you gonna pay for it. And then I see your feet standing there in front of the door. Oh, I'm airing that door out. You know what I mean? But like, what else do you do if you don't have weapons in the room? You sit there and you wait for the cops, but this fool is not leaving. He not leaving. Like, he's antagonizing y'all at this point. He probably been watching the house. He probably know y'all alone, probably know it's no man in the house or anything like that. Man, y'all get a plan together. I'm telling you, get a plan together.
When I backed away, he screamed like a madman and started banging on the door over and over. I started covering my ears, trying to shut the sound out, and I could see my mom crying. Just then, we hear the sirens outside, but the man doesn't stop banging and shouting.
He has, like, no fear for authority either.
The police knock on the door, and when they hear the man, they immediately knock the door down and come in, literally like something from a movie. I heard the man stop, and I thought the police already got him. When I opened the door, I saw the man facing the two officers, looking like he was going to attack them. When he stepped towards them, one of them shot a taser at him, and he immediately fell and started shaking violently. They cuffed him and took him out to the car, and a third officer came to question me and my mom. I told him the whole story, and then the three officers started searching for the place of breaking and entering, and it turned out that he had broken in through the window in my dad's office room, and they found a small axe and drill under my bed in my room.
Bro, he was looking to dismember an axe, a drill. He was looking to do some torture. Fam.
We later found out this man wasn't documented and no one knew who he was, and he didn't appear to have any family. He was sent to a mental institution, but that's not the worst part. The police later tried to find out where the man originally lived, and all the man told them was that he lived in the woods near my home. When the police went searching for his home for any evidence, they found a small secluded area in the woods with a small wooden shack. When they went in, they told us that they found multiple weapons, bags of old food, and worst of all, 2 pictures of me, one of me asleep, which was taken from inside the house outside my bedroom door, and one of me eating dinner from outside the window.
Been watching this kid for a while. That's scary. That's scary. Because when you're home, you're what? You're vulnerable, right? He been watching your kid for a while, pictures and all.
I hope nothing like this ever happens to anyone, and I hope no one else has to add another bad memory to the long list from this terrible year.
He been watching your kid for a while. You know what I mean? That's scary. So he knew your patterns. He knew probably your strike. I bet y'all looking at them woods behind your house a little bit differently now, ain't you? Ain't you? Listen, that's crazy right there. Y'all get at me in the comment section, man. What would you do? How would you handle it? Get at me in the comment section. It's your boy L to the next reaction, man. I'm out. Peace. Y'all stay solid. Hey.